Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Megha Sharma. Today was phase 1 of the election. There were as many as 102 constituencies in 17 states and union territories that went to poll. But the important question today I want to ask my viewers and my panelists is whether the Muslim vote bank politics that traditionally used to be played in our country during Lok Sabha elections, assembly elections, local level elections, has that been eradicated altogether? And if it has, what has replaced it? Is it development, education, jobs, infrastructure? Have we been able to circumvent and take forward the country and its people from the petty communal politics to the politics of development, welfare? Let's start this conversation. Joining me on the telecast right now, quickly getting in. Okay, I have with me Professor Madhav Nalapathan. So, a response from you, sir, with regards to how elections play out and taking a look at the constituencies which are traditionally regarded as Muslim vote banks or Dalit vote banks or OBC vote banks or Thakur vote banks or Brahmin vote banks. Have we been able to shed that image of a country that votes and is communal when it comes to Hindus and Muslims particularly, two communities divided, therefore a majoritarian state or a majoritarian constituency which has a large number of these minority communities, Muslim particularly, are then going to have Muslim leaders, are going to have Muslim candidates who are going to fight the election, as had been witnessed in 2019. I take the example of Western Uttar Pradesh, BSP, Samajwadi Party and the RLD. BSP and Samajwadi Party fielded Muslim candidates. These are areas, the 7-8 constituencies that went to poll were Muslim dominated regions. Now, and they were interestingly won by the BSP and SP. BJP ended up winning, I think, 3 of those seats from Western Uttar Pradesh. So does this still hold true? That if you are able to relate to the Muslim community, if you play to the galleries to the Muslim community, it is going to garner you votes?
Look, the fact of the matter is that human beings can be terrible to each other. You have a lot of cases in which Hindus have been terrible to Hindus. Muslims have been terrible to Muslims. Christians have been terrible to Christians. I mean, you can see, for example, there's a war going on in Ukraine. You can see, for example, there have been so many battles in the Gulf region and so many conflict situations. So the fact is that every citizen of India is the same, irrespective of religion. Every citizen has equal rights under the law in India. And that is why a government scheme, for example, if any government scheme that is rolled out for Indian citizens, it does not discriminate on the ground of religion and frankly, on the ground of region or on grounds like that. Why? Because we are all Indians. So I am very certain that in every community, there are individuals who want India to go forward.
Okay.
Why? Because if India goes forward, they go forward, their families go forward, and they will choose the party and the leadership that they believe can take the country forward for the next 5 years.
Okay, all right. Today, phase 1 of election got over. Let's quickly also take a look at these sound bites. Some people that my reporters ended up having the opportunity to speak with, they were all coming out and voting, and they were incidentally Muslim voters. And these are the concerns that they had, and this is what they aired.
हिंदू मुस्लिम सब एक रहे, झगड़ा नहीं होए।
किन मुद्दों को लेकर आप आज वोट डालेंगे?
महंगाई को लेकर, ये बहुत बड़ी समस्या है आज के लिए।
महंगाई
जी।
किन मुद्दों को लेकर आज आप वोट डालेंगे?
सबसे ज़्यादा वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट और जो वुमेन के साथ में जो आजकल रेप हो रहा है वो कम हो जाए, जो इतनी ज़्यादा एम्प्लॉयमेंट जो फैल रही है वो कम हो जाए, इन सब के।
Okay, so you heard it from the people on the ground, first-hand accounts. Joining me on the telecast right now is Yuvraj Pokhrana. Yuvraj, quickly a response from you with regards to how the people have voted, and particularly the Muslim community. These members came out, some of them, they've spoken about how there is unemployment on the basis of which they will be voting on the basis of Vikas, development. There were some women from the Muslim community, they spoke about, the resurgence of rapes and exploitation of women, women harassment, assault on women, that needs to reduce. Women empowerment is on the basis of which they have cast their vote. So amidst all these issues that were raised by all these individuals from the Muslim community, there has not been once an issue raised about the communal divide between Hindus and Muslims. They have not raised once the matter of only those leaders who are going to work for the Muslim community are going to get their vote.
Megha, my reactions to the voting percentage, voting turnout is quite a mixed bag. Why I say so? First of all, the disenchantment of the voters towards voting is quite reflected in the voter turnout. Having said that, but I'm also hopeful and positive with this turnout, because when I see the voters, I have seen quite a few voters by the reporters of NewsX, but neither of the single voters said कि ये मेरी जात का है, मेरी समाज का है, because now I think people are moving out of the shackles of caste, creed, sects and religions. And I feel that the Indian voter is turning to be more capitalist. How capitalist? They are simply going through the quid pro quo thing. कि आप मुझे क्या दोगे तब मैं आपको वोट दूंगा. So people are voting on development plan. People are voting on employment plan. People are voting on the planks like security, women empowerment. These are the real issues. From morning, I have been tracking media, and trust me, barring a few couple of people here and there, nobody is talking about कि मेरी जात का है, मेरी समाज का है. Even the pedestal of the voter says कि उन्होंने अच्छा काम किया है. So this is the Indian voter. Okay. And last 30 seconds, please give me 30 seconds. Whether it is the flagship program like Awas Yojana, Mudra Yojana, PM Kisan Samman Nidhi, giving toilets, giving this sanitary pads, the schemes do not discern that the Labharthi, the beneficiary is Hindu or Muslim. It is Malika or Megha. There is no such distinction, and the message is directly communicated to the voter and it is reflected in the reaction of the voters. Okay. Over to you.
Okay. I have one more concern, and Dr. Kaushal Kant Sharma, he is the BJP spokesperson. The accusation that has been hurled your way by the opposition, by the Congress, the TMC, we talk about the DMK leaders, we talk about the South politics that plays out, that BJP plays the Hindutva card. BJP has saffronized the rest of the country, and the only states that remain untouched are the southern states. They attack you and accuse you of communal politics, and if BJP were to enter into the South, the same fate is going to be met of the people of South.
Megha, in my opinion, if bringing CA, removing Article 370, fighting and aggressively campaigning for Ram Temple is communal, then you can say we are communal. But actually, whatever we put in our Sankalp Patra, we used to follow that and we deliver that. And that is why the people are choosing. And after 2014, you have seen that politics is changed. It is beyond the caste and beyond the religion, because our major slogan is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas and Sabka Vishwas. Previous to that, if you go on the older era of politics, they just have only two things. One is divide the Hindu in caste and add the Muslim and just take a limited amount of vote bank and just rule for the country. And that they are doing for last 70 years. But now there is, after this Labharthi Yojana, where almost all the benefit is going to the citizen. It may be Hindu, Muslim, any caste, any creed, anywhere. But there is only two castes, one is rich and one is poor. And the rich people are trying to give for the country, and through the Modi ji, and Modi ji is providing everything, security, food, home, toilets, gas connection, electricity, roads, whatever is possible in the form of development, and we are doing development along with virasat. It is not against any religion. Yes, if previous to that there is only one politics is going on, Muslim politics, caste politics. Now that is ended, and we bring the Indian politics, Hindustani politics. Whosoever believe in the India, whosoever believe in the Constitution, that is the main citizen, and that is the main labharthi, and we are working and serving for them only.
Okay, Firoz Bakht Ahmed, quickly a response from you. You know, just I think a couple of days ago, right ahead of the phase 1 of the elections, now this disturbing report came into the fore. There was a Ram Navami procession that was attacked in West Bengal. This has not been the first time that such an attack on a Hindu procession has happened in West Bengal. There was another report where a BJP candidate was allegedly seen aiming an imagined dhanush, an imagined bow at a mosque. And there was quite the ruckus that had been created. Later on, I don't know, some clarifications were made. She spoke about there was no mosque to begin with, and I was not aiming with my imagined bow at a mosque over there on the street. So if this isn't communalization, then what is? And again, the question about, you know, BJP, has it been able to shed its tag of a Hindutva political party, and particularly the RSS, that is the core of BJP. That's how the BJP started, with a number of the BJP leaders who are now cabinet ministers, who are in fact taking the important positions. Rajnath Singh, Amit Shah, Narendra Modi, they have all been karyakartas of the RSS. So is it a misnomer that RSS and BJP are looked upon as quote-unquote nationalist Hindutva political party or an organization versus quote-unquote Congress or the DMK or the CPIM or the TMC that are quote-unquote secular?
All right, am I audible to you?
Yes.
You see, right now I am on my way from Delhi to Bhopal. I am in a train. I am in Rajdhani Express. Anyway, I got the entire, sense of your question. Basically, you see, every time there is an election, there are some lobbies which try to make it into Hindu and Muslim, which try to make it into BJP, RSS, and some Muslim cadres. This is very unfortunate. India has been run like, whether you use the word secular or not, yes, it has been run on the model of what you call either Vajpayee ji or Nehruvian model, in which all the people have been equated, and as the Prime Minister also has been quoting about the Muslim community, are just like my offspring, they are like my children, and we are going which he is doing. And I think, although we put anti-governance means this present governance, which is BJP or Modi government.
Okay, we'll try to get in other guests on the panel. As Firoz Bakht Ahmed said that he's traveling, so he would have bad internet connection. We'll try to fix that as soon as possible. I'm going to come back to you, sir, Professor Nalapatha. Again, the same question about the quote-unquote secularity of these political parties who promote themselves as such. The DMK, as I said, the CPIM, the CPI, the TMC and the Congress, versus the Hindutva tag that has been given to the BJP. Particularly first, is Hindutva tag necessarily a bad thing? Does this end up communicating that a particular individual or an organization or a political party is pro-Hindu and anti-Muslim? And if such such a narrative has been created? Who has created it? Why has it been created? And is the BJP able to shed it at last?
Look, I'd like to point out very clearly that you can you can respect your own faith without hating any other faith. And I think that is a message of tolerance that is there that you will find in India. Now, you look at the communities in India, you see the way they have developed. And, this whole concept of majority and minority, the partition of India was created on the very false basis that Hindus and Muslims are separate nations. And at the same time, after independence, this division into minority and majority was made. In my view, we are all Indians together, and we need to be looked at as Indians together. I think what Prime Minister Modi is doing through his schemes is to ensure that every Indian gets the benefit. I don't think there is any qualification of religion or caste or community or region in these schemes. It's there everywhere. My home state of Kerala is ruled by the CPM, or the central schemes are active there. Tamil Nadu is ruled by DMK, it's active there. Uttar Pradesh is ruled by BJP, it's active there. Some other state may be ruled by the Congress. Telangana, for example, it's active there. So very frankly, Megha, I think given the history of partition, it is very unfortunate when political parties start talking about, issues on a communal basis. Say, for example, that this is supposed to be a Muslim issue. No, the fact is the Muslim will benefit if everybody benefits. It's like the air we breathe. You can't say that only particular people will get good air and nobody else. The whole air has got to be clean for all of us to benefit. So if you're a Hindu, you have to have a situation in which everybody benefits. Same with a Muslim. And my view is more and more the people of India are understanding that we are all Indians, and these efforts to divide us once again on the basis of religion, caste, region, language, they are going to fail.
Okay. Yuvraj, coming back to you. Now, this is a utopian society that we dream of versus what is the ground reality. And we are putting out these figures of the key constituencies across the country which are Muslim dominated, which have a larger percentage of the Muslim population in the pockets of the constituencies. And there have been a number of instances, repeated instances, when there are the BSP, the Samajwadi Party, the Congress, some other political parties who have fielded Muslim candidates versus the percentage of the Muslim candidates that have been fielded by the BJP on those very seats is much less. What does that indicate?
Megha, this BJP manifesto and this 2024 election, I feel could be a black swan event in the history of the coming years. I'll tell you how. In 2019 Lok Sabha elections, BSP won the Muslim-dominated, Dalit-dominated seats of Saharanpur, Bijnor, Nagina, Amroha, while its alliance partner SP kept the seats of Moradabad, Rampur and Sambal. So what was the plan of these seats and the win? Only Jatiya Janganna that these guys are harping upon. The caste equation, the Muslim seats, whereas BJP under the stewardship of Modi has tried to break the shackles away from the caste equations while giving away and defining 4 new castes of India. The 4 new castes, namely Gyam, G for Garib, Y for Yuva, A for Annadata, and M for Mahila. So that means we are cutting across party lines, we are cutting across ideologies, religions, caste, creed, and we are only focusing on the development, on the welfareism of the welfareism.
But is this translating? Are people able to understand, Yuvraj? Because as soon as you talk about Ram Mandir as soon as you're talking about Citizenship Amendment Act, there are these political parties who are talking about how the Citizenship Amendment Act is in fact against the Muslims of the country, that the Muslims of the country will lose citizenship, and there are gullible people who are going to fall into the trap and they are going to believe it because they have not read about it, they have not heard about this, they are illiterate, they are not educated enough, and the information that is provided to them is through these politicians who are holding these rallies and doing door-to-door campaigns, and with their loudspeakers they are talking about CAA, they are talking about Ram Mandir and all these things together. So how does a political party whose agendas are purely for the welfare of the people is going to make the larger percentage of the people in our country understand what it is trying to do and why is it trying to do this, and it is not a Hindu-Muslim agenda that it is following?
Of course. Because since you have asked a very comprehensive question, kindly allow me the courtesy to respond it properly. First, there are two parts to what you said. One is the narrative, the perception that is being peddled, and BJP is wrongly pigeonholed into these issues. 370, which is peddled or touted to be communal, CAA, Ram Mandir, keeping them aside. On the ground, the BJP has worked to bring in the women reservation bill. It has successfully opened 50 crore Jandan accounts. And of course, people like you and me, we are privileged. We don't have Jandan account. But the real beneficiaries are the poor and deprived people of India. 10 crore gas connections, 14 crore tap connections, toilets, the PM Kisan Samman. Who are the beneficiaries? It is not people like you and me. These are the real people. So I feel no matter what I say, no matter what I try to teach them, but they will say कि हाँ भैया मोदी जी ने दिया है, ये हमको मिला है, so we will vote for Modi ji. So this is the ground narrative, and I don't think that any WhatsApp forward can, change this narrative. There are hard deliverables on the ground. As hard as it can get.
Okay. Quickly getting in a response from the BJP spokesperson before I wrap this up, Dr. Kaushal Kant Sharma. Now, the same question to you now. How do you portray yourself as a secular party? Because you are able to win the votes in North India and in West India and Northeast India and Central India. But what about until and unless you are able to capture the imagination and the support of southern part of the country, it will be difficult for you to be truly a national party.
Megha, if you compare the South Indian political party, if we compare the NDA as well as Indi Gathbandhan parties, in the last Lok Sabha election, we have got almost the similar number of equal number of seats, almost 32 or 33, equally on the both sides. It is more on the NDA side, if you compare, recollect your data. And the problem with the Indi Gathbandhan or Congress party is that if anybody, any political party with the name of SP, who is on the one caste, BSP on the one caste, RJD is on few castes, LJP on certain caste, AIMM who is on the particular religion, DMK, Dramil party, NDMK, Nisad party. If it is caste based, then everything is well accepted and it is secular. The minute all the caste unite together and all the caste and religion unite together and it becomes a BJP, the problem with the vote bank, they feel that all the vote bank is gone, and that is why they always allege that BJP is communal, while we are working for everybody. You can see the Labharthi Yojana, all the policies are going to everyone. Safety security is best. Fragile 5 to top 5 economy. In many indexes, we are on the top right now.
But I'm saying, do people understand on the ground? Because I was on the streets,
yes,
I was out the streets in Tamil Nadu, and when you go on the streets, people don't understand that the GDP of the country is at 6.8%, and we are the 5th largest economy. What they understand on the ground is what is being communicated by the political parties. Is that communication reaching to the people?
Obviously, if they're going on the development, they will see how the rules and regulation is going on the North India as compared to South India, then they will feel that yes, we are working.
Firoz Bakht Ahmed, quickly a response from you before I wrap this up. Now, the question becomes, who is the actual secular political party? Should we not look at all political parties with certain criticism, with some questions held in our head, because when a country like India has its politics rooted in caste, in vote bank, which is then to divide Hindu, Muslim, and use the Dalit and the OBC card, and use the Thakurs and the Brahmins in areas, in regions, in pockets where they form a large influence. Can communal politics really be removed from our psyche?
Yes, Megha, this is a very pointed and well churned out question in the situation. You see, as far as the Congress vis-a-vis relationship with the Muslims is concerned, they have always used Muslims as their vote bank. In their localities, rather than opening the schools, the playgrounds, the hospitals, dispensaries, they have actually opened the police stations. They have misused Muslim vote bank completely and wholly. As far as BJP is concerned, it does not believe in vote bank politics either of Hindus, Muslims, or any other community. They always say, "Sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka vishwas, sabka prayas." Apart from that, if they do something for Muslims, they don't say that they are appeasing them. They always do it for all the people, and that means empowerment minorities.
Yeah, but then
you see,
but there's a counter argument to that, because the opposition parties say that listen, you build the Ram Mandir. This is appeasement of the majoritarian state that you are living in.
No.
When you have brought this entire Citizenship Amendment Act, this is again appeasement of the majoritarian state that you live in. So is the BJP lacking in communication? Or as Mr. Pokrana said, that it is getting pigeonholed in its own argument that it puts forth?
Come on, Megha. If the Ram temple is built in BJP's tenure, so what? It was waiting for the last 500 years. And Ram temple is not only for the Hindus, it is for all, because Maryada Purushottam Ram, Lord Rama, was in fact, as Iqbal has said, है राम के वजूद पे हिंदुस्तान को नाज, कहते हैं उन्हें अहले नजरी इमाम हिंद. So he was not only the Imam of Hind, in fact, we consider Lord Rama the Imam of the entire world. So let us not break it into this temple or that temple.
Okay.
And the Prime Minister also went to UAE, and he was respected there. Muslims opened a temple in Abu Dhabi. So let us not talk about Hindus and Muslims.
Okay.
Let's talk about secularism and overall development of the country, which Modi is doing.
Okay. All right. On that note, I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast. And stay tuned on NewsX. This is the special election coverage that we are doing, and the important focus areas of what has happened through the day, and the constituencies, the states that are going to be the make or break change for the political parties to then garner larger percentage of the votes and thereby the seats, and change their destiny for once and for all. Thanks for watching.